What will happen to your child if you were not here anymore? Would your child be properly taken care of? Do you have your affairs in order? Let's talk about it. Hello, special family. Happy New Year and welcome back to the first video of 2021. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel, we discuss autism and everything in between. Subscribe and join our family. So today's topic is the special need trust. I chose the special need trust as a topic because I know tax time is coming, and if you watch this video, you might have an idea of something that you could do for your child with the tax money. What is a special need trust? If a person with special needs has assets, whether it's from an inheritance or a lawsuit, those assets can disqualify that person from receiving Medicaid or SSI. You might wonder how. Well, if you passed on and you left your child with, let's say, a 401k plus a Roth IRA and an emergency fund savings you had somewhere, or just a regular savings account, or just maybe a 401k, and it's over $2,000, you just did your child a disservice. They will not receive Medicaid or SSI because it's considered an asset and it's not in a special need trust. So that's where the special need trust comes in. It allows the special need person to remain eligible for those benefits while preserving their assets so that they can enhance their quality of life. But you have to remember, the trust is a supplement. It doesn't replace basic support for programs like Medicaid or SSI. They can also be used to pay certain luxuries that public assistance programs can't afford. Like they can pay for things that parents will go in their pocket and pay for. So if this trust is drafted properly by a good special need advisor, attorney, it should not affect Medicaid or SSI benefits. But be careful when spending money out of the trust. It could get really complicated. So have a discussion with your planner before making any payments out of the trust. So there are three types of trust: pooled trust, first party trust, and third party trust. We'll talk about the pooled trust. This contains funds of people with special need. This option works for some people. So it's created by a nonprofit organization. Individual beneficiaries have accounts within a large trust. So for example, Johnny has $10,000 that he inherited in his special need trust. JJ and Ramsey have $30,000 and $50,000. Johnny's 10, JJ's 30, and Ramsey 50 will make it $90,000. And the nonprofit company, they invested into a large trust, within a large trust. But each of the kids individually own their own account or trust. But when it's invested into a large trust to take care of everybody. So that's why they call it pool trust. So basically the assets of many people with special needs are all pooled together and invested. So, but the beneficiaries still own their own account. So let's say if the beneficiary dies, with a pool trust, remember now, the pool trust, every trust has a trick. So with the pool trust, if the beneficiary dies, so beneficiary means the child with special need, the child that inherited the money. So if this beneficiary died, the state may require that Medicaid has to be reimbursed first. And some states allow the nonprofit company to keep some of their money to help support their costs, because that nonprofit organization is in place for kids that don't have a lot of money in their trust, so then it's pooled together to take care of them. So with the pool trust, if your child dies, that money that's left over, Medicaid gets to take their cut first, and in some states, the nonprofit organization that does the pool trust, they get to keep some of the assets. So those are the two main things that you need to remember about pool trust. Usually people that use a pool trust, as I mentioned before, only have a small amount of money, and they like using the pool trust because it still helps a group in, and whether they had enough money or not, they're still being helped out with daily livings and daily necessities. And some people just like the fact that their funds will be used to help others with special needs if they move on. So if they happen to pass on, they know the money will be left to help other people with special needs. So some people deliberately set it up like that because they like the idea that the nonprofit company has to take care of kids with special needs. So now we'll talk about first party trust. First party trust. It's also called self-settled trust, and this trust is funded with assets of the person with special needs. So what do you mean? So if that person has an inheritance or a settlement money, it can be deposited directly into that trust, that first party trust. And they do that in order to preserve their benefits. So this trust has some rules though. It can only be funded with assets of the beneficiary. So money that that special need child earned through whatever reason, how, that with their own money. So that's the bottom line of it. It's their own money. It didn't come from their mother or their father. It's their money. So that's why people say settlement. So beneficiary has to be under the age of 65 when the trust is created. And if the trust has any assets left upon death, Medicaids get reimbursed before anyone that is listed to inherit the trust. Remember, first party trust can only be funded with the money of that special need person, and upon that, Medicaid gets reimbursed first before anyone that's listed as a beneficiary to inherit that trust. Okay, now we'll talk about third party trust. So the third party trust is established by using the assets of someone that is not the beneficiary, not the child with special need. That's the difference. It can be funded by life insurance, retirement account, real estate, but nothing that belongs to that child. If that child wins a settlement, do not put it in there because you can taint the third party trust. There is no limit to the amount of money you can put in that third party trust, and it can be used for anything that the beneficiary needs. Because this trust was funded with assets from somebody other than the beneficiary, than the special need child, the government will not have any entitlement to this money if the beneficiary dies. So no Medicaid payback, and whatever is left in the trust will be passed on to the next beneficiary in the trust. So that's the good thing about this trust. I personally chose the third party trust. Do not put any money that belongs to the child into this trust. If you do that, you can taint the entire third party trust. Speak to a special needs planner when you're trying to figure out which trust you need. My special needs attorney walked me through all the pros and cons, and in the end, I had to pick one of the trusts. This was not an easy task because here comes the, I don't want to say the hard part, but it is the hard part. Here comes the hard part. If you die today or tomorrow, you have to pick a circle. I have a big family. I had to pick an immediate circle and then individually go through them one by one and try to picture them taking care of my child. And I couldn't. There were arguments. It's like you're facing demons. And I have a strong partner, thank God for that, who walks me through it because I can get really emotional. And he rationalized me through it. Well, if Auntie Maxine loves to travel and we happen to die, because if I die, his dad will take care of him. But if we both die, can I put Auntie Maxine over there if Auntie Maxine loves to travel every chance she get? Auntie Maxine trying to travel. She's not trying to look after Ramsey. Then she has to change diapers, wake up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning because he felt like he want to wake up and come do Netflix and chill, or Blippi and chill. No. Then Auntie Maxine is not a good pick. If Uncle Bob is broke all the time and you have to help Uncle Bob out sometimes to pay his rent, Uncle Bob is not a good pick either, because you're setting your child up to become a cash cow for Uncle Bob. So it could be that you're setting him up to be mistreated and his money being used and not for him. You're just setting your child up for failure at that point. So Uncle Bob is not a good choice. Sometimes people are lucky to have a family member, a mom, a dad, a sister who is as caring as them, that'll be able to take care of their child if they pass on. I scrutinize everyone. I know my child, and I don't want to burden anyone with that. I'm not saying my child is a burden. I can deal with it, but nobody will love your child like you, and you have to imagine and picture them doing it. You know their character, you know how they are, you know how they operate. You have to sit there and individually go through your family members and see if it will be a good fit. That's where I'm getting to. If it's not a good fit, I personally pick companies. You have that option to pick companies instead of family members who have to do it. They can't complain because it's a job. They're being paid, and my child will have everything he needs and he'll be well taken care of. I won't be scared that he's a cash cow because it's a company. The company gets paid. It's all calculated in there. But if you're going to pick someone for your child, do your due diligence and go through each family member and see if it's something you can picture them doing. Because you don't want to set your child up to be abused, to be used as a cash cow, or to be taken advantage of. That's the whole reason why I wanted to make this video. To tell you, as parents, we are our kids' voice. We are their advocate. We are everything they have. They can't speak for themselves. That's where we come in. And if you want to make their life a little better after you pass on, please get a special needs trust for these kids. If you know you invest like me, please get a special needs trust for these kids so that they could get their Medicaid and SSI benefits and have their funds at the same time. So this is what I wanted to explain with the video, that it's an asset to our child to have a special needs trust. If you have any questions, I will leave a picture in the community box for you to leave comments under, or go to our Facebook page and leave comments under the video there. I do respond. And thank you for watching another video, and see you in the next one. Happy New Year again, and until next time, bye.